Welcome to the show, Mrs. Melisa. How are you?
I am fine. How are you?
I'm wonderful. I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad that we're having this conversation.
Yes, I am too.
Has been a while.
Yes, long time coming.
We have conversations in the treatment room. She's my client, and she's also a friend. And I was like, you know what, we should record a podcast about redefining ourselves a certain age, right? So I was like, she's gonna be a perfect guest for what I have in mind. So here we are.
Yes.
So tell us, who is Melisa Nicole?
Melisa Nicole. I am a full-time content creator and blogger. I was working in the healthcare industry for about over 10 years. Then COVID happened, and that just kind of really opened my eyes to have me thinking, is this what I really want to do for the rest of my life? I'm also newly divorced, so that has also played into my whole new journey of trying to reinvent myself and find myself. After COVID, that's also how I found you, because I had acne. Very, very bad, and she has saved my skin. I'm so appreciative of that. But yeah, so I'm just now on a new venture. I'm trying to find me. I'm trying to walk on my purpose. This has really been a spiritual journey for me. I've really been even closer with God, because I often say, like, oh, I'm not alone. It's me and God on this walk. So I'm just really trying to be of value, provide service, provide joy. In my head, I'm a comedian. Also trying to provide laughter. So that's who I am.
Why do you think this has been a healing journey for you?
Oh, I think it's been healing because I'm really at a place where I feel like I can't really depend on anybody but God, and also but myself, because I'm just to a point where I want change. When I was going through my divorce, it was a very, very dark and trying time. And I honestly got to a point where it's like, if I'm not really doing something that really has me fulfilled or fulfilling, why am I here? I don't have any children, so I often thought, well, dang, saw some people always say, oh, well, I have my kids. I'm like, well, what do I have now? Now it's just me. So I've really been doing some inner work and really like looking inward to see what my strengths and my weaknesses are. I've always been a person that's been very big on self-help and just trying to better know myself, to gain more knowledge. I love culture. I love different experiences. So I'm just really trying to put this all together and to just kind of walk down that path and see where it takes me. Because, I mean, healthcare, I have my degrees. That's always there. But I don't want to then look 10 years from now and regret not taking a chance on myself.
The best bet is in yourself. Nobody's going to do that for you. So what did you learn about yourself in this journey of rediscovering yourself after divorce?
I actually learned that I can do hard things. I learned that I can do hard things as much as I don't want to be alone. That's my current state. I also have been content with, if that is what it is right now, then that's just what it is. So right now I'm just really trying to focus on myself, my healing. Because that's another one of the big things that the divorce taught me, is that you have to be self-aware. As much as you try and you want to help somebody, if they don't want to do it themselves, self-awareness is a very, very big, important thing for me. You have to know who you are. You have to love yourself before you can love somebody else. So those are the biggest takeaways that I got from it.
Did you know that when you were in your marriage, or you discovered that after?
I always felt like I was self-aware, but I felt that learning that you can't help somebody who doesn't want to be helped is what I learned within my marriage. Is as much as I want for you, you still have to kind of want it for yourself. So I think it's just some of that would just kind of know that, always wanting to help people. That's an innate nature of mine. Yes. But it's still just like certain things that people just have to go through and experience on their own, no matter how much you may want it for them.
So then, what have you learned from that experience outside of the self-awareness? What did he teach you? Because people come into your life for as a teacher, and I think that not only people but things and events, they happened for a reason, for you to remind yourself who you are, and also to remind why you are designed the way you are, right? Because there is a part of us that accumulated ideas of we should be versus the truly essence of who we are as women, as human beings, right? So I don't know if that happened with you, but in different cultures, 35, you should be married with kids, right? But if you're 37, you don't have kids, your mom and your grandmother are saying that something's wrong with you, right?
Yes.
So there is the psychological thing that we subscribe to because we believe in our elders, we believe in authority, and then we grow up believing that stuff and we forget about it, and then we get in situations, in conversations where you're like, where am I in this? So what do you think, like, he had taught you about yourself?
I would say the biggest thing is that sometimes you just have to accept things for how they are. As I mentioned, with me being very big on self-improvement, it's just like I always want the best for people. So I'm just like, okay, well, why wouldn't you want the best for yourself? So that was the biggest thing, is to just, sometimes as much as you want, you just have to take things for what they are. I also learned within doing the divorce, because I kind of struggled thinking it was something selfish. But then also it's like to a point where you have to honor yourself. If you know that certain things won't change or whatever, you have to then look inward and just really, you kind of like face the facts of this is what it is. What are you going to do from here? So I think too, it also taught me to more so like listen to myself, my intuition. Because some people will call me a positive Patty. So it's like sometimes you just have to take things for what it is. You know what I mean? So that was the biggest thing, is just teaching me that, you know, I have to honor myself, because it comes a point in time where it's like, you know, if I'm not happy or if I'm not at a good mental state, it's like, what else do I have left to give?
Yeah.
So I have to take care of honoring myself.
Which are the ways you think a woman like yourself could honor herself?
Definitely by listening to our gut. I feel like sometimes we, especially as women, we often want to nurture everybody and, you know, try to help and save. I'm not saying that we shouldn't do that, but then you still have to know your limits, because then we kind of often do that and then we end up putting ourselves on the back burner. So you have to, just like what they say in the airplane, put your mask on first before you can help somebody else. You know, I think we need to take more time in doing that. I feel like we often kind of put ourselves to the wayside.
We don't know, because our mothers didn't do, our grandmothers didn't do it, and I feel like our generation is the first generation that is actually embracing how to celebrate ourselves, right? As women, as creators, even though you don't have kids, but you're creating an idea, giving birth to an idea where it will inspire, you know, another woman that went through the same thing that you went through. So that gift, right? So that's amazing. I also saw, which could be one of the ways you could honor yourself, is to buy yourself roses.
Oh, flowers! I didn't even think about that.
Well, I was looking at your blog, and somebody invested in a photo shoot, self-love photo shoot. Okay. And I really love that. I love that. I think that is a great way for you, for any woman, to really look at your body as a piece of art. When you do invest, you know, taking photos, like professional photos, especially the bourgeois one, and then the roses. I do have a client and also / friend. She buys flowers on a weekly basis. I do buy flowers on a weekly-ish basis, and my thing is sunflowers.
Oh
but
my God, I love sunflowers.
Yes, I love sunflowers. But I also like the symbolism that you mentioned in your blog as well. You know, the roses being signifies self-love.
Yes, and the pink, the color, and everything.
Yeah. And I feel like that is a great ritual that a woman can integrate in her weekly, or even at her Sunday, you know, a ritual, a reminder that you're worth it. you are a goddess, you know? And so I feel like that's a great way to honor oneself.
Yes, it is.
And thank you for inspiring, because I do have a tendency to only buy sunflowers, and I have my reasons. But then I'm like, let me be more intentional, especially now I got into really getting tuned with the lunar, calendar, to be able to create these rituals where I am being reminded that I have to honor myself, and how does it look like, right? So flowers or roses is one way. And then, of course, the whole workout. That's another way to honor ourselves and our bodies. So enough about me. Let's talk about Melisa. So, Melisa, how has been your journey leaving a secure job, venture into content creator? Because that is two different worlds.
Yes, it is. It has been very tough, to say the least. Like, as with anything, it has its good days and its bad days. I even recently said to a friend, I feel like I'm crying at least once a week.
Yeah, that's entrepreneurship.
Yes. So I was like, I just, to the point now where I just have to sit in it, feel the feels, know that this too shall pass. Because every morning I wake up, I still have this dream on my heart. So I'm like, I know that God is putting it there for a reason. So it has been a little shaky, and that's because I had health issues as well. I've had endometriosis. I recently had a surgery, so that was kind of like just focusing on my health. It felt like it was a lot of things happening at once. Yes. So now I feel like after having that surgery, I'm kind of finding my pace. We just did an interview, so make sure you check it out.
Hey, yes, she interviewed me today.
Yes.
You better listen to the interview on YouTube.
Yes. So I do feel like, and then even being aligned with people like you, I have another friend who's a coach. She's always pouring into me. So just having that community. Yes. I have another friend that we meet via Zoom weekly. We haven't even met in person, but we meet weekly via Zoom. So just having a community of other like-minded individuals, that really helps me. And then I'm a big person where I like structure. So just trying to have that structure, because I know I'm a worker bee, especially when I was in corporate, I was in a leadership role. I can do the job. So I'm like, if I can do this for somebody else, imagine what I can do for myself. So I'm just really happy right now. I just really feel fulfilled. I really feel like I have some direction, that I'm on a good path, because my goal is to provide you all value. So I mean, I love for fashion. I have a great love for fashion, but I feel like I also want to just be of value, of some type of service. I want other women to look at me and know that they can do it too.
Yes.
So that's how the journey has been going.
Oh, I love it. I love it. What is the biggest challenge that you find in being a content creator?
I would say the biggest challenge would be finding other like-minded individuals who aren't trying to look at it to see like, well, what can I gain from you? Just trying to find genuine people. Because I've had some experiences where it just seemed like, okay, where's the integrity? Where's your character? Because I feel like there's enough room for us all at the top. So I just feel like that, just trying to find genuine, like-minded individuals. That has been like the kind of hardest thing for me.
What is one thing that you notice about yourself since you have embraced the whole content creator hat?
I would say that I can do it. Once I put my mind to it, I can do it. There have been different brand things that I've been doing, and I noticed that once I pace myself, and if I'm like say for example, if I'm working on a reel or something, and if I have it scheduled, I feel more at peace. So I feel like this is really teaching me time management,
discipline,
because I'm a big procrastinator over here. So it's
me too.
That's not going to work. So it's really teaching me to create a system, because I feel like, I have all the ideas, but all of that, how are you going to flush it out? How are you going to make sure it runs like a well-oiled machine? So then that's when I feel like I really have to kind of pull back onto my skills from working in corporate, because I'm like, if somebody was paying me to do this, I would have to figure it out.
Yeah.
So I need to kind of think of myself not only as my boss, but also as the employee.
Yes.
I've been doing that a lot lately, because that kind of makes more sense in my head. It's like, okay, but if somebody were paying you to do this, you would figure it out. So that's been helping a lot.
The same, right? So for me, I am, I own a business. I have operational, functions that I have to manage, but I also have my content creator hat, where I'm producing a podcast, I'm producing a YouTube video, I'm producing a simple reel, right? I do have someone that helps me on social, but I'm the creator behind it, because that's my name. So I'm very particular how the content is created. But even that, to create the discipline to create content, right? Yes. To set, like, I recently I'm working with a coach right now, and she's like, listen, Viv, we need to create a schedule for you. And so just for this, I worked with 2 different coaches. The second one, she's more like holding my hand through the process. So I love that. I had to color code my calendar and stick with that at least for 3 months. And then the routine of sticking with a schedule, it doesn't mean that block that is color coding in pink cannot be blue. But, the time has to be fulfilled. So that has been helpful for me. The creative juices when you're financially struggling. It's something that I've noticed that it shuts me down. Like, my creative juices just become dry if I'm over here worried about if I'm be able to pay this rent, So I also read in your blog that you're able to pay off your student loans.
Oh, yes.
Girl,
yes.
How?
That was before the full-time content creation.
I know, but even that, it required focus and discipline. How did you do it?
Well, at that time, I was a director at a nursing home. And then right down the street was Whole Foods. So I actually worked at Whole Foods as well. So what I did was I just saved. I've always been a very big saver. And I think, honestly, that's how I'm able to even do this now, because I'm living off of my savings. But I've always been a big saver. So as soon as I got the money, I just put it away. So I did that, and I still have a financial advisor at the time, and I just told him during that time I wasn't going to do any additional savings, because anything extra, it went straight to my loans. And at that time, I actually turned 30. So we went to, my best friend turned 30 as well. So we went to Spain that year, and then we went to Jamaica for my birthday. Yay. So I was just so proud of myself to do all of that and still take trips. So yet again, that's just something that lets me know that once I put my mind to it and I'm focused, laser focused, I can get it done. Yeah.
So then give us like 3 things that you did and it gave you a sense of control. When it comes to your general finances. This is before you left corporate and then now. 3 things, because that is going to help me and other women as well.
Well, the first thing I do is I set up automatic savings. So whenever I would get paid, automatically a certain amount would just go over to my one bank account. Then my financial advisor would take that out and put it in like mutual funds and investments. And then I would still also, because we like to have our own little money, so I would still save a little bit of money just in case if I wanted to go shopping or something like that. In terms of the student loans, I think a big portion what really helped me pay down faster was that I would put the extra towards the principal. So you always pay what's required of you, but anything extra after that, it goes directly to the principal. So that way you're not paying on the interest as well. And then another thing regarding finances is that have it in a separate bank account that you cannot easily access. That you cannot go to like, down the street. Maybe even if it's just like an online type of banking account where if you need that money, it might take a couple days before you get to it. So by the time it's like, do I really want to buy this? Because then I got to wait 2 or 3 days to get the money, So it's just like... And another little bonus one is that if you want to make a purchase, sometimes I would sit and wait 24 hours to see if I still really want or need that purchase.
Girl, I just started doing that, and it works.
Yes.
Listen, yes, I opened my second account. I don't have access to it. And I just saw the balance, but that's not my bank account. That's the business bank account. And I was like, ooh, we have some money. We have some money. This is probably going to go towards taxes. But even that gave me a sense of power control, right? The second thing that I have done I I signed up for some newsletters of my favorite brands, and that's how I like to shop on sale with style.
Do you on a budget? It's my motto.
Hey.
Okay.
So, but then I go at it like, oh, the jacket's 50. Oh shit! Now we're buying 3 jackets, not just one. You know, but that jacket was $150. Now it's 50. So let's buy 3. But anyway, the discipline. So I start doing the same. Like, okay, I love the sneakers. I love this jacket. Do I really need Viviane? I still excited because, oh, what about if it is not available and I'm going to be mad at myself? And then I forget about it. And then if I really, really want it and if it's still available, then I go and purchase. So I just start, implementing that like 2 months ago.
That's still good.
Yeah. Listen, let's talk about skincare.
I'm just so happy she brought my skin back to life.
Yeah. So tell us, your skincare journey. Where were you before me? Where were you after you had a facial with me? And then where are you now?
Okay. So before you, I would possibly do like a little typical hand and stone. I'm not gonna lie, because I've always been very big on my skincare. Even as a child, I remember like doing masks, and I've always been into beauty and stuff like that. So I would do that before you. But then when I started to do my research, because as I told you, with the COVID, I had acne. Especially working in healthcare, we had to wear the mask all the time, and it was just honestly, it was taking a toll on my self-esteem. I was starting to feel depressed, and it's like I felt like I had to wear the mask to go somewhere. So when I did my research, because I knew that I wanted somebody that specialized in melanated skin. So when I found you and I saw that you were the best of the best of the best, I said, I have to book her. So I ended up finding you, and then we started a regimen. I think I've been coming to you now at least, or going on 3 years, I want to say.
3 years,
yeah, going on 3 years.
Yeah.
So I found you, and ever since then, I've been stuck to you like glue. And then I do want to mention, because the last time I was here last month, I had my first chemical peel, and I really see a difference.
Yes.
And I was just so intrigued, because it wasn't, guys, I guess, very big on following people on social media. And, when you see people have chemical peels, it's like the skin is coming off, and it's this, and it's just kind of gross. But that was not my experience at all. But I really, like, even every time I go to the bathroom, I'm looking at myself, like, I can really see the difference. That's why you need to get that membership, guys, okay? It pays. But yeah, that's where I've been. And just been really trying to be regimented in my skincare routine, because sometimes when my cycle comes on, I do kind of fall off because, just in bed or, it's just a lot going on with that. But other than that, I really try my best to stick to my skincare routine. Whatever you say I should use, I'm like, okay. Viv said it, so I'm using it.
What did you learn about your skin when you start, like, you had professional facials before, right? So what did you learn about your skin that you didn't know before meeting or having a facial with me?
I would say, wait, what did I know before you or after?
Before me. So you were getting facials at the other place. And it's damn. And then now you start getting facials with me, and then I didn't know that my skin, or I noticed this difference from what I was getting before to this now. They are under, this is a completely different experience, but when it comes to the skin quality, what did you notice, or if you notice any difference?
Well, I feel like before what they were giving me, it just seemed like it was kind of generic, I would want to say. Like it wasn't really tailored to a woman of, melanated skin. So it's like, okay, I will look good or whatever, but I just feel like this stuff, it wasn't like a, like with you, there's a full on, this is what you do at night, this is what you do at day. It wasn't like regimented like that. So I felt like, okay, they're just doing, I guess, like the basic stuff. I didn't feel, and I didn't have that same warmth and that comfort level because my esthetician, she wasn't a woman of color. So it's just like, I felt like maybe certain issues that I would have, would they understand that? Would they get that? Especially with the hyperpigmentation, I have those type of things. So it wasn't like, I didn't feel like it was a specialized service like geared towards my skin. And then the major difference is I see, even with our very first meeting, you were very knowledgeable. But even just saying, like, you could tell, like, oh, have you been eating a lot of this or a lot of that? Like, you could see all of that in your pores, and they didn't give me me that same type of thing. I felt like before I would mainly do what, try different masks and stuff that I may see on social media, but I felt like I did not have a good routine. Like I would, of course, wash my face, clean my face, but it wasn't, especially, as I'm getting older, I want to try and look as young as I can for as long as I can.
Yeah.
So I wanted something that would just kind of help my skin over time in different phases. In the winter, I tend to be more drier, so I need to add something else. All that type of information wasn't being translated to me. So that was the big difference.
Bingo. And that is the difference, right? So that's what I was saying before. I treat my practice as like an authority, right? I get clients say, "Oh, you're my skin doctor or my skin therapist," but I take it seriously because that's how I understand the health of your skin is through a holistic approach. And so, understanding your stress level through work or your career, tells me a lot of your food choices, and also how much you're sleeping, and how much you're drinking water. And these are very essential factors. They are there to support the overall health of the body, and the skin being a major organ that needs to be cared for. And I feel like one of the reasons why I'm super passionate about skincare is because I've noticed a lot of, especially women of color, the relationship with the skin. It's not a loving one, right? Because we've been addressing the hyperpigmentation, we're addressing the acne, not knowing how to do it, right? Because culturally, our focus always has been the hair,
Yes, that's
right?
very true.
Not the skin,
Yes.
because the hyperpigmentation and acne was the focus. Because in melanated skin, that's how we heal. If we have breakouts, if we have I burn because you're doing, flat iron, right, curl. You create that little damage that the melanin, which is giving us the protection, the color for the hair, for the eyes, all of that is a protective mechanism. So when there is a trigger of an inflammatory trigger, then the melanocytes go into that area to heal and unfortunately overproduce melanin, right? So now we grow up watching our grandmothers or mothers just slapping makeup, but not understanding how to address in the skin health. So for me, it's very important for you as a client to come in understanding what is happening and what might be causing the root cause, and how to care for the skin while you leave the office, because I'm the only 20% of your 100% commitment.
Yes, I have to do my part.
Your morning routine and your nightly routine, they are as important as getting a facial, right? So I feel like empower you with the information, the purpose of each product, then it makes you be more committed to that routine. And then I go even further, like this is the time for you to check in with yourself, because this is probably the only time you look at yourself in the mirror. Naked, right? Meaning no makeup, none of that. But we still on the phone, and we're over here on Instagram removing the makeup. Why not use that moment to remove the makeup and reinforce the affirmations that you might be using, to feed your inner child, right?
Yes.
So I tell clients that your nightly routine, it should be a ritual. Morning and night.
Yes.
But especially at night, because you're going to sleep and you want to create more this relaxing kind of experience, so you can let that day just fall away from your body and all. So skincare is also a ritual.
And what I've been doing too is romanticizing it.
Yes.
You know, especially when I don't feel like it. I'm like, ooh, let me put a little candle on, let me put some music on. You know what I mean? Just really taking that time to center myself. And especially one thing I learned from you that you told me is to also put it on at least like an hour when it comes to the nighttime routine, an hour before you go to bed. Because I'm like, you don't want all that product just on your pillow.
Correct.
So it's like, let me just romanticize this, you know, have a nice little cup of tea.
I love that, because you're creating a container to really care for yourself. It's not just the skin, it's the whole self, right? Because like European culture, like I have worked with European lines, and they are very big in aromatherapy. And now aromatherapy, all the senses, the touch, the methodology is very hands-on. The sensorial experiences, is the focal point. In US, is all about strip, you know, like exfoliate. But in Europe, it's not like that. So I kind of brought that into something that was very familiar to me, coming from a tropical country. Beige skin was the makeup, right?
Yes.
Skin is the new makeup.
That's right.
But so healthy skin, so having access to fresh fruits and vegetables in a tropical country, but then you have the sun. You have sun damage, right? Yes. But I also believe in a very strong immune system. So when there is any type of injury to the skin, it's easier to bounce back when your immunity is strong enough. And of course your products to support that healing process as well. So and that's how I approach skin, and I love when clients come back with, oh, I've been trying this, I've been trying that, and I'm like, oh, my babies are learning things from me. I feel like an auntie.
Yes, we are. Okay.
Do you have any favorite product within the routine that we created?
Yes, the exfoliating pads.
Really?
You really put me onto that, and I really feel like that has made a difference. I didn't, because as I said before, I was using what I see on social media and things like that, but just actually using these chemical-based different products like for our skin, I really love that. And I also love the Jan Marini Siesta, the serum. I love that. Yes,
that's one of
favorite.
Their bestseller, my bestseller as well. I love that vitamin C, and the pads are amazing too. Yes. Because I feel like a lot of what I have noticed, a lot of women don't know the most important treatment within a skincare routine is exfoliation, and also serums, right? So the serums are the most active, more like a, I would say more, what is the term? There is a fancy term that I like to use, but it comes back, it comes and goes. A little bit more complex, right? So the ingredients are more refined. They are highly concentrated. They have a delivery system. And you normally pay a little bit more for serums because of that. They are more complex. And then your moisturizer is going to add another layer of moisture and protective properties, but the work is going to come from the serum. And so then understanding that, then understanding the exfoliation, your skin is going to become smoother and more even and healthier with these two treatment products. It's not a particular product, it's the treatment. You understand the difference, right? Yes. So people are like, oh, but what is exfoliator? What is the name of the serum? No, understand that these two steps are very important. It's just a matter of understanding where your skin is, right? So the skin is oscillating between normal to dry and normal to oily. And then you have these concerns, hyperpigmentation, reactivity, and so forth. So now we have summer and then we have winter. Then if you're a traveler, it's a different behavior. So the skin is constantly adjusting with the environment, the external environment and the internal environment. That looks like poor sleep or good sleep, poor diet or good diet. If you are eliminating or not has a lot to do with that as well, right? So is understanding that part. So then you're like, oh yeah, I notice my skin is smoother when I stick with this routine. Oh, you know what? It's wintertime. Let me double up on my layering, right? Your water-based serums, and then you use your face oil, and then you use a moisturizer, right? So all of that. And through skincare, I feel like we get to know more of ourselves. If you create that space. That container, like that romantic container for yourself.
Exactly.
I love it.
It's a way to me too to honor yourself.
Yes.
You know what I mean? If you don't do it, who's going to do it? You got to take care of it.
Who's going to do it? Yes. I also saw that you did a how-to video for your curly hair. Oh my gosh! I was like, I need to buy the Donna's recipe because my hair is very dry, and I think we have the same texture. So tell me, how does it look like? How long does it take for you to get your hair done?
Well,
like on a weekly basis, not a hairstylist, like yourself doing your hair.
Me doing myself, because that's one thing going natural taught me is patience. Yeah. So it does take some time, because I do like to do like a pre-poo with castor oil. Because castor oil is, and speaking when you were speaking to about in the tropics and stuff like that, I'll never forget a time when I went to Jamaica and that heat, it really did a damage to my hair, and I was just it took years for my curl pattern to like come all the way back. But I do like to do a pre-poo with castor oil. Then I'll go on with my shampoo and conditioner. Donna's recipe also has a leave-in conditioner that I absolutely love. Really? Yes. And then I'll either twist it or braid it out. It depends on how long, because my hair, I recently cut it a couple years ago. So now that it's growing out, I would just kind of braid it and like twist the ends or just do a regular twist out. Because to me, when the ends are twisted, it doesn't break as much as opposed to braiding it.
That is true.
Yes. Yeah. So I'll do that. And then I also have a steamer. So sometimes I'll sit and steam, especially in the winter. I'm more so a protective style girly, so I might pull my wig out really soon because the air is just so dry. Yeah. But yeah, that's typically what I do. I like to make sure it's moisturized as much as it can be. So it's like, even if I'm just spritzing it with a little bit of water and a little bit of leave-in, just to go throughout the couple days before the next wash day.
So how long you maintain that style until you have to wash it again?
I should be washing it every 2 weeks, but sometimes life happens. So typically maybe about a month or so, but my goal is every 2 weeks. Okay. Because I don't wash it too often, because then a lot of the oils, it strips our hair and all of that. So every 2 weeks is like the sweet spot for me.
So Donna's recipe, leave-in, and
I love their leave-in. I swear by their leave-in. And then they have a hair cream. And they also, depending on if you like twist outs, if you want your hair to be light and movable, they also have a really good mousse. Ooh. Good mousse, yes. Okay.
Because I do use mousse. I use Dupe.
Oh, I've heard of them. Yes.
And I use Uncle's Daughter Curly Magic as my gel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Curly Magic. It's like an aloe flaxseed oil base. Flaxseed extract, I believe. Anyway, we can talk about hair.
I can talk about hair all day.
But I know for sure there are bonitas out there trying to, making comments about our hair, curly hair. That's what we do. And on the show notes, you're going to have all of that information and links to and different for her blog, because she did a how-to. So we're going to post that on our show notes. Has been a lovely conversation, my dear.
Thank you for having me. I feel so honored.
Oh, absolutely. I think that I feel like you're a fascinating woman. I love your energy, and I feel like your career is going to flourish.
Oh, thank you.
Because the dedication is there, the energy is there, the love is there, the heart is there. Yes. Before we go, I would like for you to define or describe yourself in one word or two words.
That's a very good question. I would say strong and resilient. Strong and resilient.
And that is the end of our episode. See you next time. Ciao.
Adios. I love it. That was so good.
Yeah. So.
And it flowed so well.